On behalf of Amrita School of Arts and Science, we heartily welcome you, ma'am, to the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Firstly, I am grateful to Professor Dinesh and the Amrita University for giving me an opportunity to be before the young minds and talk about a very relevant topic which would be there for them when they enter into the industry, because artificial intelligence is being used in every sector of media, and be it public relations, advertising, social media, web journalism, or film studies or film and entertainment sector, they will be utilizing artificial intelligence. And this session, I believe, will be really helpful to them to understand the scope of artificial intelligence in mass media. We say that artificial intelligence is something that is new or recently being talked about, but there is a long history. And what is artificial intelligence? It is basically a science of making machines smart. So before 1949, computers could execute commands, but they could not preserve it. And because they could not store those commands, they were not intelligent. Later, somewhere around in 1950s, we found that there was an intelligent machine created, and basically a test paper was written on computer machinery and intelligence. Students, this basically artificial intelligence is of computer science domain, right? So all coding commands work over here to execute the operations. So we as students of journalism and mass communication are not inclined towards the programming and coding part, isn't it? Our exercise rely on the other side, which is executing different features. Like, you must be using Netflix, you must be using Spotify, and you must have seen that they have got some good recommendation engines. The moment you log into it, and it recommends you a vast plethora of songs or movies depending on your interest. So how come this is possible? This is possible with the help of the machine learning algorithm, which is testing your past history, your browse history, and accordingly giving you or recommending you the movies or songs that you would like, that lies in your interest area. Okay. And we are also finding that with the help of artificial intelligence, various social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they are going with heavy targeted advertising. You log into your LinkedIn account, you will get all job recommendations which are relevant to your portfolio. So how is it possible? It is possible through artificial intelligence. You log into Facebook and you will see that there are a lot of ads which are coming, like could be of the area that you were searching on Amazon. The product that you were searching on Amazon or Mintra is reflecting in your Facebook account. Why? Because somewhere it is intensive targeted advertising which is being enabled with the help of artificial intelligence. So you must have also heard about Sophia. How many of you have heard about Sophia? Raise your hand. Okay, so Sophia is what? Sophia is basically a humanoid, a robot which has been given the first citizenship by Saudi Arabia. So somewhere we are finding that right from 1950 to present, we are finding that there has been development into the area of artificial intelligence, and hence I would say that this is not something new, but this is something which is being continuously evolved. Because of the lack of fundings, there were some gaps in between, but gradually we could find that deep learning was introduced in 1980s, then machine learning was introduced in 1970s. So deep learning, machine learning are basically the subsets of artificial intelligence, and we could see that machine learning is the advanced version of machine learning is deep learning. So you must have come across these jargons many a times. Also, this what I mean to say is, there was like IBM's Deep Blue, a chess playing computer program was developed way back in 1977, which defeated the grandmaster Gary Kasparov. So this is like, we could see that how these machines were continuously made to become intelligent and smart, so that they can even defeat the human beings who are like said to be the champions, right? So let me change my slide. And here is a classification of artificial intelligence. So when I say classification, you could see that it has got deep learning, supervised and unsupervised. So when I say supervised and unsupervised, I'll give you a very simple example of it. Supervised is something which is in an order and it is very well structured. Okay. For example, you see that in your class, names of the students are written, which are being supported with enrollment numbers or admission numbers. Then they are supported with the batch. So there are 2 3 parameters in which we ensure that XYZ student is a student of this batch, this class, and this is his roll number. So this is very supervised because we are finding everything in a structured order. Now, unsupervised is basically where you have everything in not in structured form, and therefore it is unstructured and called as unsupervised. Like we have so many videos which are running on YouTube. Now if you find a collection of videos, could be like, you have 10, 15, or 5,000 videos at your hand, and you are unable to give them a proper nomenclature, you're not able to classify them properly. So anything that could be properly classified will come under supervised. Anything that could not be properly classified will come under unsupervised, and there clustering happens. Clustering in the sense we make groups, and in classification we are able to make particular strata. You must have understood, like learned about stratum or strata in your research, and clustering in your research methods, right? So machine learning has deep learning, supervised and unsupervised. Apart from that, natural language processing is another application of artificial intelligence, which could help us in machine translation, in text generation, in question answering. So these all things are very relevant to our field, isn't it? Because we have to continuously create content for our websites if we have created, or our news channel that we are running, because if we don't have content, how are we able to run 24/7 news channels, right? And the websites which needs minute to minute update. And also we have another application of artificial intelligence, which is image vision. So through vision we are able to recognize image, and this could help us in many ways. Like where earlier when used to edit the movie, that time it was, we have to categorically keep or assemble the shots of particular actor in one folder, actress in another folder, because we need to use them for editing. But now, because of the feature of artificial intelligence, image recognition is automatically helping us to classify, and this is making us to do the editing very easily, because we are quickly able to assemble all the scenes and shots of the actress and the actor, and we are able to put them into sequence, and this is making our work very easy. Apart from that, we have another feature of artificial intelligence, that is speech. So speech to text and text to speech, we are frequently using it, isn't it? Because you all know there is a very famous ad of Google. Google se पूछो, पूछना है तो Google से पूछो. What does this mean? That you have your voice command, you have to give that voice command to the system, that to your mobile phone, and it will revert back. Like they ask paneer pasanda ki recipe chahiye, how to take loan, what is the procedure of applying for loan. So you just have to speak, and through your speech, that thing is being converted to text, and the code has been taken by the machine. Alexa is very good example of artificial intelligence, which is working completely on voice command. How many of you are using Alexa? Are you using Alexa at your home? Is there anyone who is having Alexa at your home? Because Alexa is like, it is also helpful in turning the light on and off. It would just say, you have to just say, Alexa, put the lights off, and it will put the light off, because it is working on the voice command. So these are the various classifications of artificial intelligence, which can give us a big picture that how we can use artificial intelligence extremely and extensively into the area of mass communication. Now, next that we have is the structured data, which I was just explaining. Basically, structured data is categorized as quantitative data, and it is highly organized and easily understood by machine language. And the program or the machine language used for this is structured query language, which is developed by IBM way back in 1970s. Okay. So you could see I have given one example. Username is there, user is there, address, phone, email, alternative. So this is how we are able to put everything in a structured and ordered form to easily identify and recognize the items that we are finding. Next is unstructured data, which is basically qualitative data. So the YouTube videos or social media posts or satellite images, audio files, or even the text are unstructured data because they are qualitative and it cannot be organized in relational database. You have to, think of nomenclatures, then only you can put them into a relational database. So instead of it, what we are using is no SQL database, which are best fit to manage the unstructured data. Okay. Now, next that we have is a kind of a comparison between unstructured data and structured data. So structured data give us bird eye view of the customer. Unstructured data can provide us with a much deeper understanding of the customer behavior and its intents. And it requires advanced analytics. Data mining techniques are very frequently heard by all of us, which are applied to unstructured data to learn customer buying habits and timing, pattern of purchase, sentiments towards a specific product, and many more things. And strong unstructured data is the key for predictive analysis, which are based on some softwares which are predicting the buying behavior in the retail industry. Also, Amazon and Mintra, Flipkart, what they are doing, they are all data driven because they are using your data to go for the prediction of your buying behavior. Accordingly, they are suggesting you offers and discounts and using persuasive communication to persuade you to buy the products, because they say you have a dhamaka sale, big sale, not to miss, it's an exclusive sale. And it keeps popping up on your social media platforms, or also on your WhatsApp or in your message, which drive you to that link and make you buy the product. Now, there is a way where we can, convert the unstructured data to semi-structured data, which is done with the help of sorting, classifying, and then nomenclatures could be given. Like you have, say, if I say I have around 50 videos of YouTube. Now, first I will have to sort the content wise. I have to sort, like some videos would be related to, like if I can sort by the kind of audience I have, like I have kids as one of my audience, then teenagers, then I have adults, then I have elder citizens. So likewise I can, classify these videos and give them nomenclature. Or I can also classify on the basis of the likes and dislikes that has got, number of downloads and views. And these are, there are some ready made data available on Kaggle, Data Hub, then IEEE data port. These are all open sources where if you go and when you click on Kaggle, you have to log in into Kaggle, and then you have to put certain keywords, like you can talk about elections 2016, or you can put any local election term, or you can put YouTube videos, trending YouTube videos 2021. So if you play with certain keywords, you will get a long list of data which are semi structured because they are divided with some classifications and nomenclature, and you can use them for some analysis or your research study. Maybe you can use them in your projects that you are doing, like most watched web series of 2021. If you want, you can get this kind of data from Kaggle or other open sources of data, and from there you can, put a very interesting projects, because you already have ample of secondary data in your hand, and you just need to use certain algorithms to play with that and come up with your findings. Now students, when we have to connect it with mass media. So I was trying to another word that I was repeating again and again is algorithm. What is algorithm? We understand that algorithm is programming, right? So Python is a software that is being used to create the algorithms for artificial intelligence, and then command is given. So some are through machine learning, some are through deep learning. But algorithms are what? They are basically set of instructions or commands. And in a layman language, even a recipe of a particular dish can be said as an algorithm, because a set of instructions are given to us that you have to put this much ml of water, this much ml of sugar, and other ingredients to prepare XYZ recipe. Okay, so algorithms are nothing but set of commands, and it is being again and again used in artificial intelligence, because you have to give the machine set of commands which it could preserve and use. Like you have automated driving cars now. You don't need a driver, it can drive driverless. So what is that? That is basically deep learning AI application, which is being stored, and commands are already preserved in the machine. And with those with the help of those commands, the we are able to drive the vehicle, right? So machine learning and deep learning are the active key components which are used of from artificial intelligence to put the various applications in use. So you must have heard about automated journalism. It is also called as algorithmic journalism. Just now I have explained you what is algorithmic. It is also called as computational journalism and robotic journalism, because it is creating content on large scale which is quicker, cheaper, and potentially with fewer errors than any human journalist. And leading companies such as Associate Press, Forbes, the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, ProPublica, they have started to, create content through automated journalism. And algorithms can be used for same data to tell stories in multiple languages from different angles, and thus, personalizing them to an individual reader's preference. So this is automated journalism. Here is an example, because this was an example published by Associate Press, and in the bottom you could see it is declared that this news has been created through automated journalism software using AI applications. It is not written by any human being. So after reading this news, it is difficult to identify, but after reading the declaration, we all are amazed that all 5 Ws 1H are there. A good headline is given, proper dateline and credit line is given, and the news is properly drafted. Can a machine do this? But it is doing. Okay. Now, how algorithm generate news? Here I have one set of commands that are there, and the stages that are there for algorithms to generate news. They collect the data, they identify the interesting events, then they prioritize the insight, and they generate narratives. Okay. So these are the set of commands. The programmings are given to the machine in this way, and this leads to a news generation. Similarly, it is for content creation, which you create for your blogs or for your website. So you use the similar set of stages of algorithmic news generation process to generate the content. Now, there are certain concerns in the mind of people that can automated journalism replace the human journalist from the office? So, journalists are best advised to develop skills that algorithms cannot do, because algorithms cannot go for in-depth analysis. They cannot go for investigative journalism. They cannot go for interviewing, as they are limited to being in a machine form. But a human being can go for investigative journalism, he can go for in-depth analysis, and he can go for interviewing people. And automated journalism will likely replace journalists who merely cover routine topics, but will also generate new jobs within the development of news generating algorithms. But that is not for our domain, that is for the computer science domain, because they will be getting jobs for developing such kind of algorithms. But what are routine journalism? Like business news is there, sports news is there. These are routine, where only the figures are changing, because the stock market and everything, all the columns remain the same, the figures change. So for all these kind of routine journalistic news, we can of course see that AI can, or automated journalism can replace humans. But it cannot replace us when it comes to in-depth reporting, investigative reporting, and interviewing. All right. Now, here I have written some of the softwares which are there for automated journalism. Like in Germany, there is AX Semantics, Texton, then Texomatic. Then in the United States, Narrative Science, Automated Insight. France, May, there is Syllabus, then LabSense, then in United Kingdom area, and in China Trendset. So these are some of the names which we can remember, because they are being used they are being developed by these countries, and people from other countries are also purchasing these machines, these softwares, to create the content. Okay. Now, another feature of artificial intelligence is fake news identification. We are listening to fake news very often, because we are finding that out of the multiple content that is available on social media platform, there are a lot of fake news that are there, and for creating bias opinion or manipulating the mindset and spreading satire, the phenomena of disseminating misinformation and disinformation is commonly known as fake news, right? So we find that the computational techniques such as natural language processing and machine learning can be used to detect the fake news. These are some of the tools like photo forensic, Google reverse image search, then invid verification, then tin eye, TruePic, YouTube data viewer. They all are the tools which are used for identifying the fake news. And logistic regression, support vector machine, multi-layer perception, k nearest neighbor, these are all various algorithms which are being used by machine learning to identify fake news. I have seen more than 50 research papers, and mostly are international research papers, where people have used these algorithms like logistic regression, k nearest neighbor, to identify fake news. And these are some ready made toolkits which we can find on internet, and this helps us in identifying the fake news. Then we are also using artificial intelligence for writing content. So Jasper is one of that, ink editor, Grammarly, we all use Grammarly. In Gmail also, we find when we type our message, automatically it gives a suggestion for the next sentence, or it even corrects our English, the grammar point of view, it corrects our English, it helps you in finding the correct tense. Okay, so all this is Grammarly, which is AI enabled software for writing. Then Word Tune is there. Then Pro Writing Aid is there. You can search them. They are really very helpful for transforming your content. Whatever you have written, just put them into these softwares, and it will correct it grammatically. It will give new words, and the sentence impressive writing will be the output when you use these softwares for generating content. Next is for writing scripts. We are finding that for films, for television soaps, for web series, there are a lot of machine learning algorithms that are fed with large amount of movie data, which analyze them and come with a unique script that the audience will love. And Jarvis is one of it, which produces high quality screenplays. It is fast, and the content that is given by Jarvis is 100% plagiarism free. So this is one of them. You can find more over the internet. Some of them might be open sources, some of them might be purchased, they are paid, but uh, they are good for writing scripts, and they give you unique scripts which are very interesting and liked by the audience. AI is also used in pre production work like script breakdown, storyboard, and short list generation, scheduling assistance, all this budgeting. This all is possible with AI softwares, as these are all pre production tasks which are very stressful. And because of AI, it has been streamlined to a greater extent, because it helps the assistant directors to schedule the timings of the actors, because a location, we have to fix the location, then the timing, and these actors and actresses, they give us some schedule that these are my dates when I'm free, come for shoot. So scheduling is one major task when you are producing a film or any short film or a serial. So for that, we are able to use AI these days, which is really helpful. Then it is also helping in character making. You must have seen Thanos in the Thanos of Avengers in Infinity War. You must have seen Eva. So these characters are digital domain applied machine learning technologies to design amazing fictional characters for movies. So this is also one of the applications of artificial intelligence. Next, we use AI in subtitle creations, like video suit or subtitle workshops, because earlier subtitling was like done manually. There has to be some people who are good into transcriptions. So after the set of the entire frame movie is ready, then subtitling work starts. It is a kind of a post production technique, because we when we have to release our movies in various other countries, and we want to be specific and we want to gather larger audience, we go for subtitling also, so that we could connect with people in different parts of the world. So for that thing, subtitling was done manually, where we used to bring the language expert, sit aside us, ask him, and accordingly we used to transcribe each and every dialogue of the characters. But now subtitling could be done very easily with the help of artificial intelligence. Just some human intervention is required, because sometimes the sound, if not taken correctly by the machine, it would write some other word. You must have also experienced it in Google Meet. When we go for a Google Meet, there is a CC option, create caption. So when you click on it, whatever the speaker is speaking, automatically subtitling keeps happening. So sometimes it becomes really very difficult to decode it, because on the basis of the sound, it has come up with some strange spellings of words which does not even exist sometimes. So there we need some human intervention so that we can correct it. And this is possible only if it is enabled with machine learning technology. If it is enabled with deep learning, then we have no right to change it, because whatever the machine has observed and whatever output the machine gives is the final. You don't have the privilege to interrupt into it and edit it. So that is the difference between machine learning and deep learning. So deep learning is considered to be advanced, but deep learning has some negative points in terms of these kind of features, where we need to correct it, supervise it once. So therefore we go for machine learning enabled softwares for subtitle creations, where we can correct if anywhere the meaning is misinterpreted, or the spelling is incorrect, or the word is not given correctly by the uh, software. Next that we have is we use AI in film production. So, to confirm that a movie is a box office success, AI can be leveraged in the promotion process. We go for a lot of promotional activities nowadays, where we are going for in person promotion, we are going for shows, premieres, and all that. But there are some data driven promotion activities also, where we can use AI algorithms to evaluate the viewer base, the excitement surrounding the movie, and the popularity of the actor around the world. So chatbot can be utilized for a promotional operations. What are chatbot, students? When we go for any website nowadays, there is a icon created, a character, maybe, or a girl or boy, who would say, "May I help you?" And there is a text box given to us where we can type our query. Okay. First, it asks us to log in with our enter our email ID, so that we are registered with them. Plus, then whatever query we are entering, it actually just identify the keywords. If we write admission, then it identify the keyword, then the program that we are looking for the admission. Generally, you must have also come across, when you are looking for admissions in various universities and you go to their website, they ask you to have your admission query settled first at the chatbot level, and then the admission department in person contact you after getting your portfolio, that yes, this is a person who is looking for a degree in XYZ program, and then they further interact with you. But the initial stage is they come through chatbot. So also chatbot is utilized for promotional operations. Then search optimization is used, and then multi-data tagging is done. Metadata tagging. Metadata tagging is what? Data about the data is called as metadata. Okay, you open your WhatsApp and you would say that it is written from metadata. So what is metadata? It is data about the data, like indexing of the data is will called as metadata. So AI in film promotion is also very popular, and extensively used, because nowadays we all have shifted to OTT platforms where movies are releasing on OTT platforms. So we have lot of data of the previous history of that particular actor, and we are able to connect it for the promotion of his next movie. Now, AI is also used in film editings, like Sensei AI platform for of Adobe helps editors to match colors automatically, adjust colors with face detection option. Then it gives us the feature of improved audio ducking, reduces the volume of the music or effects of the soundtracks around the dialogues automatically. Then, in editing feature length movies, AI supports the film editors with facial recognition technology, and they are able to recognize the key characters and sort the scenes for human editors, and by getting the first draft quickly done, because then you have everything streamlined and then you go for adding editing effects and all those. But at least sorting part is done with the help of the facial recognition technology of AI. Then it also supports in multiple formats and create videos that are of like different new technologies, or maximum efficiency of production could be reflected with that. So we use AI in film editing also. We also use in photo editing. Your mobile phones are very good examples. You're using your mobile phones which has got AI enabled softwares for taking your photographs. When you click your photograph, you would see that in seconds it transform it so well that it looks much better than the original picture, and you look more beautiful and smart in that. You can even shrink your chin, and you can have various hairstyles. These are also possible. These are extensive features of AI to give various choice, and we all use it nowadays. You people use it more than me, I'm very sure. Then Lumiere AI, here this is one of the software which does not take more than a second to analyze your photo and come up with an edited version of it, which looks far more appealing. Then Movai Pick Words, which edits your image, removes the background, add new background and color, and also it colors the black and white photo. Or if you have a black and white, if you have a colored photo, it can turn into black and white. Various themes are there. Then there are other like auto retouch is there. Then Live O Photons is there. This is a photo enhancer module which can beautify your portrait by enlarging your eyes, removing freckles and wrinkles, and giving a glowing skin. So all this are AI enabled features that make you very beautiful, and very attractive photographs are generated. Earlier we used to see these in the magazines and all, and we used to believe that the cover poster given of any actor, actresses, or any personality, they look so prim and proper in that. So, and we generally, when go for a photograph, our photographs used to look very normal or could be like shabby. But now we could understand that that time they were using some of these kind of features which were not easily available to everyone, but uh, could make their photographs very attractive. But now it is even in our hands through AI that we can make attractive photographs of ours, or we could even make good we can take good photographs and convert into very attractive photographs for selling them or posting it in our blogs and all. So this is all the applications of AI and the privileges that we can have using AI in photo editing. We also use AI in advertising. I said that in the in a, when I just begun my lecture, I said that targeted advertising, which is intensive targeted advertising, is being practiced now these days. And social media platforms are very helpful in creating such kind of data which could help us in targeting specific audience. So personalized experience is one of it. A personalized AI solution such as conversational marketing can help advertiser build these personal connections with consumers, improve the relationship they have with their brands, and create a better shopping experience. Like personalized experience could be they will come and interact with you through those machines and all, could be some mails are reaching to you, or some interactive chatbots are there which are talking to you that what you are looking in the product, what new features do you want in the product. Gradually this will make a connection of yours with the brand, and somewhere we say that brand loyalty can be developed, and we could generate and create our new consumers, which will give us a better shopping experience and a long term relation with the product. Then target the right audience. This is another feature which could be done with the help of machine learning, where advertisers can find the patterns based on audience behavior and the message resonance. How do they resonate to a particular kind of message? Some people are emotionally driven, some people are logically driven. So for the people who are driven emotionally, emotional appeal can be used in advertising. Some who are logically driven, logics are given why you have to buy this XYZ product over ABC product. So all this could be done with the help of machine learning software. Machine learning does this by considering all information that you have about a given individual, such as demographics, online behavior, to make an informed decision on the type of content a niche segment actually wants to see. See, if I say that I want to advertise a product to people residing in rural area and in urban area, of course I think I need to work on the design and the format of my advertisement, because the rural audience have a different vision and exposure in comparison to the urban audience. So giving them a same advertisement copy will not serve the purpose if I really want to connect with them. So for this thing I could use their demographic profile, their online behavior, because rural people, they have a very limited reach to online content, and their usage is very limited, so we are not able to trace much of their online behavior. But when it come to the urban side, people are extensively having their personal accounts, where we could trace their history and understand their online behavior. Then it also helps in making decision faster, because the amount of information and data that you collect gives you a very accurate insight about the person, and it helps us in quick decision making, which is improving even the ROI. ROI is return of investment. We are also using AI in OTT platforms for content production, for content delivery, and for blending the OTT platforms. Like we make content production faster and much more efficient, reducing the cost and time to market. We create new videos in real time from content libraries, perfectly optimized for releasing on different OTT platforms without the need of any human assistance. Then in content delivery, we have seen that Netflix has a recent patent which include those directed by AI and ML based recommendation systems, which are being based on user preference, which ensure fast and precise recommendation with a high degree of personalization. And it also holds patents for technologies that optimize how content is presented to a viewer, enhancing the streaming quality while reducing the buffering and data loss. So nowadays we are reading this as case study in our classrooms. I discuss with students that see how the recommendation engines that has been patented by Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other such kind of OTT platforms, which have helped them in multiplying their revenue generation, because they have used the data driven technology to reach to the audience and to improvise their quality and quantity of the product from time to time. So this is how we are using AI in OTT platforms also. So that's it from my side. Now I would want that let us have some interaction. Let me hear from you what you want to share about AI, your experience about AI in classrooms, or AI in, maybe you people are into some internships or working in some industry for some short period of time. So if you have seen anything of it, let us have a discussion on this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a very wonderful and excellent session based on AI. And now we are going to have a question answer session. Now, participants from both online and offline can ask questions if they have any.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
My name
morning.
is Lakshmi. Ma'am, so you talked about internet giants taking our data, right? For retargeting us. So, do you think, what about the ethical side of it, ma'am? Is there any law or any rule to control the data usage?
See, ma'am, when you talk about ethical side, of course, there is an infringement to our privacy. But let me tell you that once you have yourself accepted to be on social media, like you
Hmm.
have created your account in social media, means you are accepting willfully, you are coming to before the public. And what you share is some completely on your discretion. You want to share it, you put it on your social media platform. You don't want to share it, you hide it. So I believe that, if you think on the ethical side, then somewhere they will point us that because you are already on a social media platform where you have posted your pics, your events, where you are going, like people are also sharing that where they are dining in the night or where they are going to fly tomorrow in the morning. So when you want to, advertise yourself, then we cannot say that we are encroaching your privacy or your personal life. So I feel, but of course, ma'am, there are there is cyber crime. There is cyber crime cells are there, where if we find that yes, any company or any particular organization is somewhere trying to, misuse our data. Maybe like your picture is posted somewhere, you are unaware of it, and your picture is being used. There you can of course file a complaint, because that is infringement of your privacy. And it could definitely it will lead to the consumer via forum court case would go to the consumer forum, and you will be given compensation or whatever could be the legal action. So in that case you can use. But when I say that like Netflix is using your data to use is seeing your browsing history to, give you the recommend you certain movies, or then I don't think it is wrong anywhere, because automatically your browse history is being registered, and is can be used, ma'am. That's it. I hope my answer satisfy you.
And ma'am, also, ma'am, can you give me more ideas on deep fakes? Deep fakes, is it related to deep learning? Because I see a lot
Yes.
of apps. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, deep fakes or deep fakes is basically one of the softwares. It has been given this name, deep fakes, but they are working on the same algorithms to identify the fake images, fake videos, fake video recordings or audio recordings. So, ma'am, I have come across more than 50 research papers which are internationally published in international journals, and there they have used some or other kind of algorithms to check a set of news out of which they have identified that these are fake news. So if you like, you go to Google Scholar and you simply type fake news identification, you will get n numbers of papers, and with the recent filter also, like since 2018, you will find lot of them. But it is difficult for us to, ma'am, execute that, because we need to learn Python for it, where we will be learning coding. So that is the barrier before us, as our domain is on the qualitative aspects of it and using it for making our work easy, like content production, creation and all. But when you say that fake news identification, there are few centers, like in Amity Gwalior also. There is one fake news identification center which is run by Dr. Sumit Narula sir. He has recently made a copyright where he has given 7 steps of how to identify fake news. In one of those 7 steps, ma'am, he has given one algorithm which he got, he got that copyright, that this is the algorithm. When you put a news into it, it will automatically give you a conclusion whether it's a fake news or not. So if you want to excel in that field, then either you can take help from some people who are software engineers and good in Python and programming. Other thing that you can do is we can ourselves go for a certification course, because I have some friends of mine in computer science, and they say that even if you don't have a technological background, you people are from art side or from humanity side, but you can still learn Python. So I too look forward to go for a certificate course on Python, and then I will be able to say that can we, being from mass communication, use Python to identify fake news? Can we get into that coding part or not? But yes, ma'am, if you go to my slides, I have given you many other softwares which are there to identify fake news. It was my first or second slide. Fake news here. You can check my screen, ma'am. Photo forensic is there. Google reverse image is there. Then Tiny Eye is there. TruePic is there. One of my scholar is working on fake news identification. So he is actually trying to, classify the misinformation and disinformation. Also, he is working on the effect of fake news on the social media users. This is his study. So he is saying that, he's using some of these softwares to check, because these softwares have, they daily give you a list of news which are fake. So then he collect that news and he puts that before the audience, that have you come across this news, did you read it, what is the after effect of it, what is your reaction? So accordingly he's trying to, measure that reaction in the effect study, and see whether these fake news have actually affected the audience or not. That's
Okay.
it.
Ma'am, also AI in the field of education is booming, right, ma'am? There are, I don't want to name the companies, but there are a lot of companies who are adamant in changing the conventional methods of learning
Teaching.
education. So, is that true, ma'am? Is AI being prominent in the field of education too?
Ma'am, of course, AI, because see, ma'am, this is like computer science is a domain which create applications which could be used in every field. Like in agriculture, also we are finding AI is being used
Yeah.
for soil detection, soil quality detection, and all. And for education, ma'am, we are extensively using AI, because there are some concepts of subjects like, say physics, chemistry. So with the help of AI, they are able to give a very good uh, uh, demonstration which is helping students to understand. And
Right.
if anything which is helping to understand, make your concept clear, then there's no harm, and we should use it. Because in the classrooms also now they are saying that we are using AI enabled softwares to teach in the class. So teachers are using that for demonstrations and all. So and the you have just said that, so many educational, these Udemy and all, they are using Byju's, and it is being coming to their classrooms also. In the school also they have taken some collaborations with them, and they are showing some of their videos and all. Yes, Devika Chibbar has raised her hand, ma'am. Is she there, Devika
Thank
Chibbar?
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Good
Hi,
afternoon, ma'am.
Devika. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, ma'am, I have been a journalist, digital journalist majorly, and I have good 13 years of experience and worked on some technologies of AI.
Right.
Currently, I'm researching on AI journalism in India from Amity University.
I
So,
know,
I
Devika, we attended one session, you were there moderating it. So I could
oh,
recall. Yeah. Okay.
okay,
Uh,
thank you, ma'am. So,
mm,
my question is, we talked about automated journalism and how it is a jargon.
right.
What do we think about artificial intelligence journalism? Artificial intelligence journalism, yeah.
See, automated journalism is an application of artificial intelligence only, because it is automated journalism has come out, have been evolved through artificial intelligence, and we are using machine learning technologies for it.
But
So it
ma'am, I'm
is
not
not two
going
different
there.
things.
I mean, when I get into discussions and debates with my professors, I get the same answer. But my point is, when we talk about automated, the word in itself, it talks about commands, prompts, something which is repetitive, something which is done by machines.
Huh.
But my research is trying to focus on something like artificial intelligence as a strategy, how AI as a strategy is changing news operations management. So this particular term is, I think, used only by one person so far. It's not even a jargon. It's used by Dr. Muhammad Abdul Zahir. He is the advisor to Saudi consulate. So
Hmm.
if we can we start using the term artificial intelligence journalism, because I'm talking about strategies, something which is evolving, something which is continuously growing into
See,
journalism.
yeah, see, automated journalism is also known as algorithmic journalism, computational journalism, or robotic journalism. Now, when you say algorithmic, it is artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is driven with algorithms are the set of commands. So
Hmm.
if you want to coin a new term, that is artificial journalism, there is no harm to it, because automatically it is the same name, because computational, robotic, or algorithmic, automated, these all are names given to artificial intelligence applications only, because if you coin it as artificial journalism, there is no harm in that, because people will still understand and reciprocate to same automated journalism, algorithmic journalism, computational journalism, and robotic journalism. So you, if you want to use this word, there is no harm in that. It could be
Yes,
understood.
because I am not trying to study the applications. I'm trying to study how the editorial teams, the change makers in the newsrooms, are utilizing this technology to change the Indian newsrooms, basically.
Right,
So
right,
their computation is just a part of it. It's more about how the human mind is using these technologies, to these disruptive technologies, to update in the newsrooms. And there are certain organizations which are already doing. Jagran New Media is doing. In fact, just
hmm,
few days back, the case study of Google, it's working with Google News Initiative. So they
hmm.
have. So I'm just trying to figure out that if we don't use automated journalism and if we just move to artificial intelligence journalism, is that fine? Is that acceptable?
I think it is acceptable,
Thank
because
you.
artificial intelligence is something which is giving these all options before us. So if I say artificial, maybe something new could come, because new features are being added day by day. So if you say artificial intelligence journalism or AI journalism, just to shorten it, so I think it is very much viable to use, and nobody can counter your mention of this robotic journalism or computational journalism as artificial journalism.
Right, but
And
I'm just
plus you must have interviewed some people who are there using it in their newsroom. So
Mhm.
do you want to talk on the ethical side of it, that how you people are, the journalists are getting rid of their professionalism and using this to quickly update the data? Is this what you are looking for in your study?
Yes, and something in totality, the newsrooms and especially the women workforce, how
Okay,
it is going to affect the women workforce, something like that. I'm still in the preliminary stages of my research,
okay,
but this is
okay.
one thing I often questioned about. I'm questioned that why don't you use automated journalism and why not AI journalism? So I'm still trying to get those answers from academics and experts. And to add, this person whom I was talking about, he has also developed a model
Hmm.
of AI journalism. So that can be found on Google Scholar or anywhere. So
Okay.
just to add that, just for information. Thank you for giving
Right.
that answer, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. I think there is one more question from the audience side.
Right.
Good morning, ma'am. Myself,
Hi.
Gauri. So we briefly talked about humanoid robots, right? Like Sophia.
Right,
So I just want to ask you a question.
right.
Uh, it is speculated that humanoid robots are about to be more common in the future. Like I read in newspaper articles, especially in developed countries, they are about to be more prevalent and they are about to replace nurses in hospitals. So don't you think in case if there are errors in these machines, it can be harmful for human beings?
Of course, this can be harmful, but you have always seen that in foreign countries, we try to use machines in place of human being, be it at the fuel engines, be it at the dispenser machines, which gives you cold drinks and candies. You just have to insert the coin and that comes out, right? The reason is their density of population is too low. People are not there to work for all these things, and therefore they are dependent on machines, and they always create machines to surpass the population gap that they have. Okay, but when you talk in our country, it is different. We will never replace, because we have so many human beings to give employment for these small works also. And where your question lies, that if machines are replacing nurse are like, they are into a very important job, because the health, and they are the first person to come and witness what change is coming, and they are only the one who inform the doctor about the changes and get the treatment done. But if machines are replacing, I feel that somewhere this will lead to some harm, because the treatment would may not go in the right direction, because the personal touch that a human being can understand, because maybe if somebody is in pain, machine would just keep injecting you. You are saying I'm in pain, it will inject you, but it will not try to identify where the pain is, why the pain is, why the person is crying. So they will of course be monetized by some human beings. It cannot be that 100% it will be replaced by these robotic nurse. There will be some head nurse and all who will intervene in between and keep a check. But yes, for the routine work, like taking the routine treatment in the morning, there are some tests which are being done. For all these work, they will, as they do not have sufficient number of manpower with them to work into these area, right? But we cannot completely rely on them, because anytime, what if, like, Cynthia has developed one kismet rover who could recognize and display emotions also. So what if there's something wrong with it, and at the moment where there's an operation going on, if some robot starts laughing or starts crying because he wants to give that emotion, as he could see that the person, a lot of blood is coming out, and he's into pain or something like that. So we cannot fully depend on machines. They cannot replace the doctors and nurse in complete, but because there is less number of people, the population is less in these countries, in these advanced countries, they need machines to work with them, as they cannot manage all things on their own. So to certain extent they will be using it, because they even have that much of money with them to afford. In our Indian hospitals, we don't even have that much of money to afford these robot nurse and all. So that's a totally different story. And there also they will be supervised again and again, and continuous checking, and it will be like, lot of experiments will be done, and then only we can see them very easily available around us. Otherwise it will be only one or two, and experimentation stage will keep going for a long time. And reason is that they don't have enough human beings to help them. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, we have one more question from the audience side.
No problem, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Siddharth.
Hi, Siddharth.
Ma'am, really loved your session, first of all. I loved your
Thank you
session.
so much, Siddharth. Even my son name is Siddharth, so I could relate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Ma'am, the question I would like to ask is like, ma'am, do we have any kind of law or something that says in our constitution like how to deal with AI?
I'll have to work on it. No idea as such. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. It's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
One more question.
Okay, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Rishika. Ma'am,
Hi,
my
Rishika.
question is you have told about the artificial intelligence. So, while scrolling through the social medias and all, while comparing with the regional languages, there are so many misinformations are spreading. So, it is very difficult to segregate while comparing artificial intelligence in the regional languages, because while in these regional languages, it is through the artificial intelligence there are more misinformations are coming as a recommendation, so it's very difficult to understand what is correct and is incorrect. So how can we segregate in this?
See, for that, again, I have told you that if, because misinformation and disinformation is part of fake news, isn't it? And we cannot correct it, but we have certain softwares, as I have told you, where you can go and check whether this information is correct or not. Okay, like if you can see my slides, I shown some of the softwares where photo forensic and TinEye and all, TruePic and all. Then YouTube data viewer is there, where you can put in this information. Like you have to just copy paste the URL and paste it there, and then it gives you the final answer, whether this is being, doctored or manipulated, and how it has reached over here. And if it is true information, then it gives another implication. So you will have to use such softwares, and all of them are not open sources. So that is also another struggle that is there before us. And nowadays lot of research is going on over this same question only, that how to control the flood of information which is coming, and which is actually containing maximum misinformations and disinformation, that is fake news. So because you have plethora of information, and the audience is confused, that should we rely on it, should we react to it. And many research are going on in this area, and people are using, these computer scientists are using a lot of machine learning enabled algorithms to identify and give you some easy software, handy software, to quickly, classify the information and decide whether you want to go with it or not, because it gives you quick results to, after pasting the URLs, that this is a fake information, don't rely on it, warning comes, or some of this kind of things appears.
But ma'am, when we check on the informations, there are the verified accounts are also this spreading the misinformations. So audience are just confused which want to believe it.
Then see, there are, like, you will have to then understand that if verified accounts are doing it, so you have an option to report. If you can identify that this is a misinformation or a disinformation, you have an option to report. Even in YouTube videos, you go and check, you have an option to report. So if you report from there, somewhere actions will be taken against it, if you could identify that yes, this is incorrect. If you have some facts with you which could justify that yes, you are claiming, what you are claiming is correct, this is misinformation, so you report, or report spam, or simply report and write your feedback into it. That option they are giving continuously, they are giving that option with every news that is coming.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a very enriched session about AI. And on behalf of Amrita School of Arts and Science, we convey our heartfelt gratitude for the valuable time which you have shared with us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Same here, and regards to Professor Dinesh.